Hey everybody, welcome back to my booktube channel. I'm Tanner, and guess what? I completed my January TBR list! Woo! I am super proud of myself for doing so, because the last time I read that many books in a month, it was, like, high school, probably. Now, some of you are probably wondering, hey Tanner, you finished Night Vale, where's the review video for it? And the answer is, it will come eventually. See, I did like the book as a fan of Night Vale, but I feel like I need to get an outsider's perspective in order to fully encapsulate and give a whole concept of my thoughts on the book. So I've actually commissioned my mom to read the book for me, and once she's finished that, we're going to have like an intellectual conversation. We're going to figure out all the nuances of it, and once that has happened, then I'll give a proper review for it. For now, I'll just say that if you like the Night Vale podcast, you should read the book, and if you've never listened to the podcast before, then now, on to February, and I did not plan this when I first started out, but I was putting books together to read for February, and I realized, hey, I just picked the 4 fantasy books on my shelf, so welcome everybody to Fantasy February. Here's the pile. First book we have is Huntress by Melinda Lowe, and this is a book that I got for a Secret Santa, I think 3 years ago or something, from some of my friends, and it looked kind of interesting at the time, so I stuck it on my shelf, and then I just kind of forgot about it. I decided that I needed to read it, though, because I took another look at it, and there is a queer relationship in here, and we never see queer relationships in fantasies, and that's something we really need to see more of, so I'm very excited. And the other thing is, I mean, you've obviously got the name, Melinda Lowe, and you look at the cover, and there's an Asian girl, and the characters' names are, they're Tyson, and it's either Cade or Kaede, but I'm pretty sure like that makes it pretty clear that there is a different Asian mythology influence in here. And I am excited about that too, because all the fantasy that people are more familiar with is derived from like Norse and European mythology. So having another culture actually represented in this fantasy scheme is definitely going to be a breath of fresh air. Second book we have is Pile of Bones by Bailey Cunningham. And the gist of the book is that we've got some LARPer friends in university, and they find a way that they can make their game come to life and like travel into a fantasy world where everything they do is real. And it sounds a lot better than that synopsis makes it sound, but that's basically the gist of it. And this book is something I'm very interested to read, is because it is set in Regina, which is the Saskatchewan city where I live. And when you have a book set in Canada, it's either Vancouver or Toronto or like the ice flows. You never get a book set in the city that rhymes with fun. And the reason why this is written and set in Regina is because the guy who wrote it is also my creative writing professor from university. So just a fair warning, I will probably be biased towards it because he was a really good professor and he really helped me improve my writing. On the other hand, dude, if this book sucks, I am not holding back. Now, the next book is part of a series I've wanted to read, like, forever, ever since I found out about it, but I could never find the first book in the series, and then this past Christmas, my aunt finally found it, so I guess that means that I could just never find it in my hometown. We've got Book 1 of the Temeraire series, His Majesty's Dragon, by Naomi Novik. And if you're not familiar with Temeraire, I don't think it's a hugely known thing. I think it's more known in literary circles because it never got an adaptation as far as I know. Basically, it is the Napoleonic Wars, except everyone has dragons. And the last book was completely an impulse buy. I just saw it on the shelf and I decided to jump on the bandwagon. We got the inspiration for MTV's hit new epic drama, The Shannara Chronicles, The Elfstones of Shannara, or as my dad calls it, the Shannana Chronicles, the Shabadiboo Chronicles, Shondaland Chronicles, really anything. As of recording, I've only seen the first 2 episodes, like they combined the first 2 episodes together, so I don't know what the count is, but I've only seen a few episodes, and I plan on seeing as many as I can before I do my video on the Shannara Chronicles so that I can compare the two and see what the finished product looks like and see how far they even get into the book with the TV show. Now, one change I am making for February is I'm not going to do a review of every single book I read. I feel like I kind of forced it in January, and that was just because I was getting started out. Honestly, sometimes I can summarize my thoughts on a book really quickly and concisely, and so unless when I read these books, they're all like mind-blowing, I need to make a half-hour epic on why this book is so great, or why it's so shitty, or whatever. Otherwise, unless that happens, I'm just going to save all my opinions for my wrap-up video at the end of the month. So what I am going to do, I'm going to do some tag videos. I'm definitely going to do the newbie tag. I figure it's about time that I let you guys get to know me a bit. I'm going to do some top 5 Wednesdays. I am going to try and keep these all fantasy related because I declared it Fantasy February, so now I have to stick to that. I might even do just a regular vlog where I rant and ramble about some kind of fantasy topic, like elves, maybe. Really, I just don't want to fall into a rut only doing reviews and wrap-ups and TBR lists. I want to kind of spice things up a little, make things a little bit more entertaining on my channel. I think that about wraps it up for this update. I'm probably going to do the newbie tag video soon, so keep an eye out for that. In the meantime, I'm going to get started reading the Huntress. You guys get started on all your February books, and I'll see you later.